So many real estate agents that I talk to, they dream about their phone ringing. What they want to do is post on social media a couple times. They think that 10,000 people will see it, and then they hope their phone will ring. And I will tell you the number one secret to all content creation, to marketing, to networking is to be consistent. So what we are going to talk about today is the power of being consistent and how you can completely just turn the spigot on and off with your income, with your lead flow, with your closed transactions. If you will decide to be consistent, you can just have your bucket full. So I'm going to talk about some tips, some tricks, a few different things that we can do in order to be consistent, to kind of love the game. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, tell you some stories of my own 21-year mortgage career and how I was able to turn the spigot on and off. So I'm looking forward to this conversation with you. Let's go ahead and get started. How many of you try to be perfect when you create content, especially when it's on video? I am here to tell you, and I know you've heard it before, that we need consistency over perfection. The volume of work that you get done in a day, in a week, in a month, that is what is going to drive your income. Putting out one perfect video compared to 30 videos that are 80% perfect, I'm telling you right now, the agent who put out the 30 videos is going to run circles around you. I don't care how good your video is, it will not perform against volume. So we're going to talk about the power of consistency. Now, in my 21-year mortgage career, I had an opportunity to do just that, and I knew it. I got really, really good at turning the faucet on and off whenever I wanted to. If lead volume was down and I wanted to put my head down, stay late at the office, create content, send emails, make newsletters, I knew that within 60 or 90 days, the leads would start coming in. Now, what I'm encouraging you to do is to get off the roller coaster. That feast or famine kind of yo-yo is exhausting. So what we want to do is create systems and habits and a schedule. Maybe it's time blocking where you are creating content in a consistent way. And I can tell you some ways that you can do that. I use AI not to help me tell me what to say, but to help me structure my plan for the month or for the next 3 months. So I'm going to give you a few ideas on how to do that. I read a quote not that long ago in a book, and it said something along the lines of, if you show up, then your audience will show up for you. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to come up with a plan and stick to it. So when we say, I'm going to film content every Tuesday and Friday, that means you need to film content every Tuesday and Friday. And then besides just filming it, now, of course, you need to post it. You need to get good at processing those videos on Instagram if that's what you choose to do. Now, we're not just talking about creating social media content and videos here, although that is what I'm doing for you. I'm showing up consistent. I'm giving you some messaging, some tips. I want to help you, and then I want to help show you how to help your clients. So over these next 30 minutes, we are going to go into a number of different routines that are bulletproof. So whether you are tired or uninspired, you are going to be able to create the content that you said you were going to, regardless of those things, so that you can give value to your clients and continue to grow your real estate business. So let's go ahead and get started on some step-by-step tips that are going to help you grow your business and stay consistent. There is a very clear compounding effect that you are going to see if you will learn to be consistent. When people see your content over and over again, they just start to trust you. Okay, so we have to understand this psychological principle of just showing up. When your face and your sincere message continues to come across someone's screen, someone's email over and over again, they are going to start to kind of lean in and be curious, want to know more about what you're doing. So again, the key ingredient here is consistency. What we are trying to do is instill that we are building a business and we need to do some things consistently, just like any business would do. Okay, so that means showing up for yourself, coming up with some time blocking techniques that you can use to post content. And honestly, one of the things I think that might be overlooked and not talked about enough is you need to love it. Like, I like what I'm doing right now. I am helping you. I am creating content. I am sharing a message. I am bringing value to the world. And those people who see the value are going to benefit from it. That is exactly what you are going to be feeling when you create social media content. Now, I continue to talk about videos and social media content. That's what we're talking about in this segment, but the same could be true for phone calls or emails or a once a week kind of a networking group maybe that you're a part of. So there's so many different ways that you can be consistent. So you need to see what speaks to you and what's going to work for you, and then come up with a plan to be consistent and be accountable. So that's one way that coaching comes into play. Is coaches are tremendous at holding people accountable. You can also use a peer in your office, kind of an accountability buddy, but you want to get serious about this. These are some of those little things that make a big difference that we've talked about before. So if being consistent is a message that is ringing true to you right now and you understand it, you have buy-in that yes, being consistent is probably going to help me more than anything else, certainly much more than being perfect, then why not engage with someone from your office or with a coach and start to hold yourself accountable to this level of consistency? Like I said before, the volume of material content that you create is going to partially dictate your success. So anything that you can do to come up with these little ways that you can be consistent, that's what we're here for. We are going to go over the 5 pillars of creating consistent content for you so that you can get some ideas on what's going to work for you. I don't expect anyone to immediately adopt all 5 of these, but I want to present them to you so that whichever one jumps off the page to you, you are going to take that and run with it. So pillar number 1 is going to start with defining 3 to 5 content categories. They could be things like local events, they could be market knowledge, they could be pricing, they could be about interest rates. So we're going to talk first about you defining those 3 to 5 content categories. Okay, the next thing you're going to define in this pillar number 1, if this is what you choose, is a posting frequency. I mentioned earlier, Tuesdays and Fridays might be your frequency. Maybe to start out, maybe it's just Wednesdays. Whatever your frequency is, you absolutely have to stick with it. And the way that you're going to do that is by planning ahead. So you can use even just ChatGPT to help you brainstorm a framework for content for the month. So you can plug in the different categories that you want to speak to, the area that you live in. It will help you generate some ideas. If you need help using AI or any of those tools, you can certainly send me a message either through my Instagram direct messaging or through my school community. You can message me there. So the final thing that I want to mention in this pillar number 1 is we cannot wing it. Winging it will not work when it comes to consistent content creation. You need to commit to a frequency and a schedule, have a calendar, and have those content categories defined. So that is pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 in our 5 pillars of content consistency is going to be a batching system that you put in place. Now, batching is when you sit down one day and create 2 hours or 3 hours of video. Yes, it can be a long day. Yes, it can be a bit draining. You've got to be organized, but those are your videos now for the entire month. Okay, you may want to go out and do multiple home tours in one day. You shoot these little 60 or 90-second videos, and then you can edit them throughout the month and continue to post on your page. Things look fresh and new, but you didn't have to go through the process of filming every single day. So batching is absolutely critical. It will help prevent burnout, and it's just a no-brainer. So what we need to do though for batching is we need to plan ahead. We can use AI to help us with some frameworks. You can use AI to help you brainstorm some caption ideas, and then you can kind of make them your own. But we want to be able to create somewhere between 10 to 20 shorter videos out of this 1, 2, or 3 hour batching session that is going to feed our social media all month long. This pillar is huge. It's something I do all the time and would encourage you absolutely to adopt the batching technique. Pillar number 3 is the value first content strategy. We cannot come at our clients, at our audience, and always be selling. We cannot be asking for referrals and some kind of call to action at the end of every 60-second video. You want to follow the 80-20 rule here. So 80% of the time, you are going to be positioning yourself as the area expert, the market expert, the economy expert when it comes to real estate pricing. Whatever it is, you want to be the expert in the eyes of the consumer, and you're not pitching to them all the time. 20% of the time, you can talk about what you do. You can ask for some call to actions. You can ask people to reach out and DM you, but we have to stick to the 80-20 rule. We want to give, and then ask. That's the way that we're going to build trust with our audience. We want to do value first, answer the questions that the consumers want to know, and they will come to you when it's time. Pillar number 4 of our 5 pillars of content consistency is going to be reusing and recycling. So when you are in pillar number 3, you've done that batching, you have 2 hours worth of video content, you can take a little 2-minute clip out of that and turn that into 5 different things. That can be an Instagram reel, an Instagram carousel, an Instagram story, a YouTube short, maybe a 2 to 5 minute video on YouTube. So there's lots of different things that we can do with those same videos. We can make the captions look different. We can zoom in, we can zoom out. There are a number of AI driven video editing tools that you can look into. There's one called Opus Clip. There's one called the Captions app. There are so many. I'd be happy to share those with you. If you want to DM me on Instagram or send me a DM through my school community, I would be more than happy to give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. That's something that I'm doing all the time. So repurposing and recycling so that you can get more mileage out of the same 2 to 5 minute video. That is pillar number 4. Pillar number 5 is going to be engagement and community building. We are on social media. We are sending out newsletters. We are going to networking events to build community. And through that community, people will trust us because we show up consistently. So what you want to do, especially on social media, is you want to be involved in conversations. You want to start conversations. You want to do anything that you can to support your audience. So when people are in your feed and they are asking questions and they need help, you want to be the first one to jump on there. You want to give some long-winded answers. You want to ask them if they would like some resources. Maybe you have an ebook, maybe you have a flyer or a template or a worksheet, or you can get them in contact with a loan officer or a plumber. Whatever they need, you want to be right there. So pillar number 5 is going to be engagement and community building. And the only way you can do that is to show up consistently on the platforms that you love, the platforms that you post on, and help the people on there who have questions. So that is pillar number 5. That is going to wrap up our 5 pillars of content consistency. If you follow even a fraction of what I just told you, your business is going to change. I absolutely guarantee it. Now that we have some systems in place to post content consistently, create content consistently, the next thing we need is a habit of content creation. If we are going to do this day after day, week after week, month after month, we're going to have to create a lot of content, a lot of ideas. Okay, so what we want to do is have some kind of a daily, weekly, and monthly habit when it comes to content creation. So daily, I want you to spend a minimum of 15 minutes a day on content ideas. It could be creating new ideas. It could be searching and researching for new ideas, or maybe it's just analyzing some of the ideas that you have and putting them in order. But every day, non-negotiable, you're spending at least 15 minutes thinking about content ideas and what your audience wants to hear. Now, once a week, you are going to organize your content into some kind of a calendar. So you want to be planning ahead. I would suggest that you're always a month ahead on your content creation. You do not want it to be Thursday night and you've got to create a bunch of stuff. You want to do this well ahead of time. So stay a month ahead. So in that weekly content habit, what you're going to do is get organized and kind of plug that content in where it's going to go. Now, your monthly, once a month content habit, I like to do this around the first or the second of the month, is you're going to review the performance of your content from the previous month. So now that we've created all of this content, we've got a number of different pieces out there, and there certainly are going to be some that perform better than others. And so we want to identify what was the structure of that piece that performed better than the others. Was it the time of day it was posted? Was it the hook that you gave at the beginning? What is it about that story that people were kind of leaning into and maybe sharing and liking? So we want to identify what's working. We're going to do that once a month. So we've got all of this content strategy to create it, and now we're going to analyze it. So that habit right there is something you need to plug in without a doubt. We have been creating content, coming up with ideas, talking about batching, all of this stuff. Now we have to implement it. So if you are new to social media, or maybe you just haven't been posting consistently, what I want to do is give you a structure on how you can start to implement some of these ideas and strategies and content. So in week 1, I just want you to select the platform that you're going to use and make sure you understand why. So even if you say, I like Facebook or I like Instagram, I want you to know why you like it. Okay, who else on that platform is doing well? What is it that they're doing? So in week 1, you're just going to do a little bit of research and make sure that you've picked a platform and you have solid ground to stand on as to why you're picking that platform. Okay, now in week 2, what we're going to do is start posting consistently on that platform. And yes, you might fumble a little bit. It might be tricky to get those first couple videos out there and the captions don't work right and the sound isn't good. But I want you to just start this process of posting consistently. Maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday for you. Whatever consistency looks like, that's going to happen in week number 2. Now, in week number 3, let's start batching. Let's come up with maybe 30 minutes of content that you can then slice up and put out there for the next week or 2. So you're going to experiment with your own system on how batching is going to work for you. Okay, now that we've done that, in week 4, we're going to put it all together. We're going to have our content created. We're batching. We're posting consistently on one platform, and we're going to add in the engagement piece. We're going to create engagement, questions, answer questions, write questions, and we're just going to start working with the platform and seeing what happens. So that's week 1 through 4 as you're just getting going on implementing some of these content strategies. I cannot stress to you enough how important it's going to be to have a publishing plan or a publishing calendar. And I'm telling you that AI, ChatGPT can help you create a content calendar in a way that will blow your mind if you have not done it. If you want help with that, reach out to me through DM or on my school community. I will be happy to share with you some of the tips and tricks that I use when it comes to utilizing AI and some of those tools to create the content. But it is absolutely critical that you're working from a plan. We talked earlier about winging it and how that just doesn't work. And I cannot allow you to wing it. We've got to work from a plan. It is way too important. Any real estate agent who is serious about creating content is certainly going to run into some blocks. You might have kind of an idea block where you're having trouble coming up with content. I'd be happy to help with that. ChatGPT and AI can help with that. And honestly, the platform that you're on, if you look at some of your peers, some of your mentors, people you look up to, see the kind of content they're creating, that is what you can also then create. But ultimately, what you're doing is you're speaking to your audience. You want to create what your audience wants to hear. So if you are having trouble coming up with content ideas, what you want to do is turn up the dial on your engagement. Ask questions, do polls, find out what people want to hear, and then deliver that to them. So there are certainly going to be ups and downs in your content creation journey, but I want you to stick with it. That is why we have our content publishing calendar. You cannot get away from this, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're only getting 1 or 2 likes on your videos or your post. That's okay. It's the consistency that is going to serve you. So do not steer away from consistency. We have to get over the perfectionism. The done is better than perfect thing has got to ring true in your head. Don't worry about perfect. That will come. The more videos you post, the more content you create, the better you're going to get. Obviously, that sounds like it would be true, and it is, so we just have to start creating more and more content. The truth about consistency that I have seen over my 21-year career of working with real estate agents as a loan officer is that the real estate agents who are the most successful are not necessarily the ones who are the best at social media. They might just be the ones who are the most consistent at posting and content creation and even sending out thank you cards and emails and newsletters. It's the consistency that is going to pave the way for your entire career. I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to have that calendar, be disciplined, have the habits in place, the systems, so that you are consistent with your efforts and your volume of work that you create over a week, over a month, over a year. It really, really adds up. It will build the trust and the exposure and the authority that you're looking to have with your ideal clients. So I am giving you a 30-day consistency challenge right now. I want you to pick one platform that you are going to post on. I want you to select that content pillar that you are going to put out there. And then finally, you're going to select a frequency that you are going to post at. It might be twice a week, 3 times a week. Maybe you want to get ambitious and post every single day. Whatever it is for you, you have just been challenged to 30 days of content consistency. I really can't stress to you enough how consistency has this compounding effect. It's almost magical where your audience is going to start expecting and hoping and looking for your next content. That is what's going to happen when you're consistent, is they will get used to seeing you. And then when it's time to buy or sell or refer someone, who's going to be on the top of their mind? It's going to be you, because you literally have been on the top of their feed day after day. That is the magic of this compounding effect with consistency. And I want that for you. If you are ready to build a consistent content creation strategy, I want to invite you to join me and other agents just like you over on School at my Agent X Coaching Academy. It is completely free. We are going to be on there every day, giving new tips, new ideas, answering your questions. This is something that I would like to see you do. It is going to do nothing but help you, encourage you, hold you accountable, and give you that little edge that you need to be consistent and finally get over this hump. Because once you're consistent, you will see that compounding effect in place. I want to see you over at School. I can't wait. Click the link either on the screen or down below, and we will get started helping you with your content creation right away. As we wrap this up, I want to just give you a final thought that your consistency is the competitive advantage that doesn't cost you anything. It just takes some organization, a little bit of your time, and this habit of love for creating value. So the consistency, the content, this is yours. It is your voice. It's where you can add value, and it's where you can help people. This has been Chris with the Agent X podcast, and I want to encourage you to keep showing up, keep posting, and most importantly, keep becoming that consistent voice that your market needs. Until next time.